boys. Timberwolves win. Holy cow. 106-99. Like the stream. Oh my goodness. I am very excited. My mouth is very dry. Also, that was a pretty fun game. I was having a lot of fun in watching that game. You know, even just thinking of like a fan not of the Nuggets or the Timberwolves. Holy cow. Seriously. Oh my goodness. What a game indeed. Eric, my gosh. Samurai, 2 words. Naz Reid showed up in the second half. Oh my gosh. Guys. It might happen. This is crazy. We looked good. I mean, we even had pretty bad foul calls against us for most of the game. I mean, Ant like came up to the ref and he said they basically broke my arms in that SWAT. Wow. This is insane. Anyways, Timberwolves win 106 to 99 against the defending champion Nuggets in Denver. Incredible. And they now have command of the series. What did they say? What was somebody saying? It's like, it's not a series until the home team loses. Well, guess what happened? Game one. My goodness. We got a lot to talk about. It's just me for right now. I think Ashwin will be joining me. He was at a bar watching this game with some Denver friends, I believe. So he's probably being beaten up as we speak. However, man, that is exciting. We're really squirrely. We are so back. I mean, right off the bat, thing that shows up right away, Anthony Edwards, second round playoff appearance, 43 points on 17 of 29 shooting. Only had 6 free throws, made them all. Had some great blocks, insane efficiency. Only had 1 personal foul, and that happened like instantly too, by the way. You know, the first half was a tale of, you know, we don't have like, it's just Ant versus everybody. We bust out the gate like, was it 19-4 or something like that? That was insane. Yeah, we were up 14 with 5 minutes left to go in the first. Eric, 5 gifted. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Everybody, W gifted for Eric. Seriously, Eric, you're always here gifting 5. I appreciate you. That's awesome. We're gonna have some guys. If we go to the next round, we are gonna have. I was meaning to get playoff tickets for giveaways this time, but they were so much more than I expected, and I didn't have enough money in my YouTube account. So, Eric, I appreciate you for the 5 gifted. Next month, maybe if we go to the Western Conference Finals, we might have that. But yeah, I mean, you know, we have Ant go off crazy, but nobody else is there. And then Denver goes on a run. This was a lot like a boxing match. You know, you had these big like swings from each team where it was just like people were throwing haymakers at each other and seeing like, okay, can they handle it? And both teams were handling it quite well. I mean, we were tied like basically going into the fourth quarter. But then when it became clutch time and it was like, okay, this is the time where the Denver Nuggets, there's some ridiculous stat, by the way, where like, when I think Murray and Jokic are on the floor with less than like 6 minutes to go, their like point per play is like 1.75 or something. Insane. So like that's their time. And you saw that in the Lakers series. This series so far, I mean, we were the ones dominating in the clutch and with countless, and I mean countless clutch shots. I mean, he looked like a polished vet with the shots that he was making. Like that crossover on Aaron Gordon, that was insane. Holy cow, man. Also, yes, Samurai Cat stepping up on the third, and yeah, right off the bat out of the second half. You know, we were down 44-40 at halftime, and then Cat comes in, plays amazing. Like immediately, that's the Cat we've wanted for nearly a decade now. And we had a little bit during his rookie year. We're not getting all the Cat's antics and stuff like that. But like that was super clutch. Now, of course, the end of the game, that foul on Murray and the 4-point play or whatever, that was really bad, really stupid error. Not like the most egregious, but that was like really just such bad timing. We survived that though too. Man, Tycoon, welcome everybody to the stream. If you're new here, subscribe. We're almost to 1,500 subscribers. By the way, everybody go subscribe or follow our TikTok. We're almost at 1,000. I had some TikTok go viral the other day, so you're gonna have to check it out. but we're so close to 1,500 subscribers on YouTube, which is more important than TikTok. Oh, JJ, that Rudy jump shot was an out of body experience. Dude, so many things about this game. So many things about this game. Guys, we've got something special. And here's the thing. I understand. This is just one game. The Nuggets played pretty good this game too. I mean, we had good defense against them, but like they were hitting their shots. This was not like the craziest off game for them. Early it was. Early they had a lot of off shots that were like, okay, this is going to be an easy game if they can't shoot well. But man, all over the place. Anyways, back to the third quarter. We're waiting for Nas to do something, and boy, did Nas deliver. He has like the bank in three, then he has the putback dunk, then he has he gets closed out in the corner. He drives, get fouled, and one, and then a wide open three. It just opens up the offense, dude. So many things went right. So many things went right. It's insane. Let's see. Conley and Nas in the second half were huge. Yeah, that's Conley too, Manimal. In the first half, Conley and Nas were like, whoa, we can't win if we don't have Conley and Nas doing something. Like, we need some amount of production from them. And Conley in the first half kept doing those really like wide, like pick and rolls where he'd go all the way to the corner and then kind of drive the baseline in. And then he found like Cat for that one driving layup. And then I can't remember, he passed out to three for another. It was kind of interesting. It was obviously on purpose and maybe trying to like break up the Denver defense, which by the way, the Denver defense is better than I thought. I went back this week and I was watching all the different games that we played with them, just to kind of see what it looked like during the regular season. Not that it matters, because we just swept the Suns and we were 0-3 against them in the regular season. Guys, I hate to admit this. And I'm not trying to be like super like reactionary and living in the moment or prisoner of the moment or whatever, but like, man, stealing game one. I don't even know if stealing is the right word, but like we looked good. We looked really good. Crazy. But yeah, then Conley and Nas came in huge in the second half, and that's what won us the game. Well, there's so many things that won us the game. This is the first playoff series versus the Nuggets that have been down in 2 years. I heard them say that on the broadcast, Eric. That's crazy. How is that the first one? Oh, my goodness. Insanity. Woo-wee. All right. Rudy and Ant take over. Yes. Rudy, shout out Rudy for Defensive Player of the Year. Rudy Gobert, by the way. He actually did play on Jokic quite a bit tonight. Some of it was getting switched, but some of it was just like, hey, he's just going to go up against him and we're going to see what happens. He held his own, and he even was playing like the two-man thing where he's swatting those alley-oop plays away, which is huge because those are huge momentum plays for Denver and get them really going. Man, oh man. Yeah, Aston, and it wasn't perfect. It was not like it was not a perfect game from the Timberwolves, and I'm sure the Nuggets would not say that it was perfect for them either. However, it's impressive. This is the playoffs. You win imperfectly. You do what it takes to win. It may not be the prettiest. It may not always be. I mean, honestly, we had some pretty good moments tonight. So I don't know. It was still pretty good. But yes, we had a lot of mistakes. And oh my gosh, T. Kubler, the refs and the Reefs sucked so bad tonight. So bad. Like the ticky-tack fouls immediately. Like, what was the foul margin in this game between the teams? It was ridiculous. They had, let's see, free throws. At the end, it ended up, it's not actually that bad. It was pretty low fouling game, I guess, but still, some of the fouls were just so bad. They had 20 to our 12. Some of those came in the end when we were up. I mean, like the no call foul on Ant was crazy. Jokic is just doing this every possession down the court, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a foul on the defense." By the way, that's crazy. Yeah, there were just a lot of weird foul calls that I didn't love, but we persevered. Also, the tech on Ant, so stupid. I can't get over it. That was really, the tech drives me crazy. I understand that that's a tech, but like, as they were saying on the broadcast, should this not be, I mean, like they're scowling at us when they're dunking and like getting and ones and stuff like that. Like, what was Murray doing on the floor? He's like rolling around and stuff like that. Yeah, it's just dumb. But Charlie Barley, hit that like button or you don't get to watch any more games. True, Charlie Barley. How did you know? How did you know that? Everybody hit the like button. This should be like our most liked stream, if I'm being honest. We have to have 100 likes on this for real. Um, man, so exciting. Um, let's see what else. What other comments do we have? This team is legit. Welcome back, Ty Time. This team is legit. It all stars. It all starts with defense. I was scared of our defense would be tired in the altitude. Well, here's the thing. Ant in the first half was gassed. So when we're playing in Denver, I think we have to be super careful with our timeouts because we need to be able to keep those guys like healthy and not fainting because Ant couldn't get across half court at one point. That was really scary. But that was the first half, and then the second half, I thought Micah did a really good job at managing the timeouts. We had a ton of timeouts going into the fourth, and just throughout the entire second half. And then even in that listen in during the huddle, they're like, "Yeah, Micah was like, we have timeouts. Play hard. I will call timeouts so that we can get like a breather." Essentially, I loved that. I hope no other coaches or teams heard that because Micah's ours. But man, a split is now the minimum outcome. Then it's the insane asylum of Target Center and the whiteout. They're doing more whiteouts, it sounds like. Oh my goodness. Yeah, insane. We dominated the second half. Honestly, there were things, it was kind of weird. I kept trying to like place like labels on this game, like, oh, this is like the Timberwolves early season. This was this was a lot like the Lakers series with the Nuggets, where the Nuggets are just close the entire time or close enough, and then they just go on a run and boom, it's right in it, and then the crowd is going crazy. Their crowd is wild, by the way. Shout out to the Denver crowd. Like, they are so loud. I don't know if it's just the way they have the mics going or something, but like that is loud in there. When they were down like 19-4 or whatever, they got like a dunk right away, and the crowd was like in it. No, it was an MPJ like fadeaway. It was like it's crazy. But shout out to the Denver crowd, but we hate you also, Denver crowd. Rudy's lockdown on Gordon Drive was textbook, dude. And he was out at the 3-point line too, guarding too. I hope that this changes people's minds on Gobert. I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but like I don't want Rudy getting screwed out of defensive player of the year awards because people are like, oh, Rudy's goofy and cried because he didn't make the All-Star game, and so he doesn't deserve defensive player of the year, even though he clearly is. He clearly is. And he's not just somebody that gets blocks. Like, please. We know that, but like all of the world of NBA seemingly does not know that. So stupid. Surf in 25. Ant is the best Timberwolf since Tony Campbell. Comment of the night. Insane. Cam gets a tech for saying that. Are you talking about the Denver crowd? Even with the refs, they couldn't save the Nuggets. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I actually thought that the refs would be more on our side, and I thought it was going to be kind of gross, and I was going to have to like stand up behind some like kind of gross calls, but that's not what happened tonight. Like when we got fouled, it was actually that we got fouled, and it was the opposite. Like I was expecting Ant's like superstar whistle to like blossom right now. I thought this was like the time, but no. The8 or Chili Bruh, welcome to the stream. Ant, I assume, does not want to lose a single game. He might not at this rate. Unbelievable. Seriously. Yes. He is ready to like make this series a sweep. I'm not saying that it's going to be a sweep. I still think this is going to be a long series. I mean, Denver's still good. They still had players making really tough shots, but like I think the one thing I will say is that it felt a lot like in the beginning of the game when we were in our first run and our defense was playing really well. I think when you have a good defense through the regular season, one that's like top of the charts or whatever, people less look at the logistics of how that defense plays, and the players are more like just very aware that there's a good defense. And we saw a lot of like never minds. You know how we talk about the Rudy never minds, where like he's standing in the paint, somebody's going up for a layup, and it's never mind, I'll pass it back out. It's kind of like that everywhere because you have you have Jaden, you have Ant who played great defense early. Really, I mean, all game, but like he played super good defense early, forcing those never minds from everywhere. I mean, like MPJ had wide open shots early and he was just passing them up. Murray had a couple too that he was passing up, but he might just be unsure. He doesn't seem perfect right now. That is the one thing that the Nuggets will probably kind of cling to, is that he does not seem 100%. But also he had that crazy behind the head shot over Gobert, which was just like crazy. But Ooh, boy, Ryan Mitchell, let's go. Seriously. Holy cow. The recipe. Do not double team Jokic. Yeah, I mean, because he shot terrible for a point. At one point tonight, he was like 4 of 13. He was 11 of 25. So he ended up okay because he hit a couple of those shots super late, right? He had like 3 or 4 shots in a row, like late. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'm trying to pull up the numbers here. Um, yeah, he had like 3, I think, something like that. But man, that was he just was not shooting well. But he had 32, 8, and 9. So Jokic had 32, MPJ had 20, Murray had 17, and pretty much nobody else did anything. I will say it was kind of annoying to see like Christian Braun hit an open three, Holiday hit an open three, Jackson hit an open three, Caldwell Pope hit 2 open threes. It's like I understand that they're going to have to be open for that's just how the series is going to have to work. If we're going to try to clamp down on the main 3 and Jokic, Murray, and Porter, like those guys are going to have open shots. Problem is that this is not the first round of the playoffs, nor is this just a regular season opponent. This is a playoff team. They have playoff players. I know their bench is not as good as our benches, but they still can. And Peyton Watson, although he airballed a 3 tonight, like he can hit shots too, and he has hit shots against us. So, but man, punching them first is huge. It just makes them play a lot more desperate the second game. And then, as Anthony Hollis says here, if we come away with 2, I mean, if we win the second game, is it over? Like, I have a hard time with our team and our defense. It's like if we have 4 games and we have to win 2, I'm like, I don't know, or 5 games and we have to just win 2. I feel like we can do that. So, but that's thinking ahead. We're getting a little cocky. That's okay. Look who's here. We've got my co-host. It's Cooper Carlson. No, it's.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not here. There you are.
There I am. Nice.
Welcome. Are you drunk?
No.
But are
yes,
you drunk?
Actually.
Yes.
Love drunk wolves, man.
Love drunk wolves. All right. Well, I've been yapping for 20 minutes.
Let's get to the tier list.
Dude, we could get to the tier list. But first, I'm curious. What's your initial reaction? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling a little full of myself right now. I was trash talking the Nuggets for most of the game.
You were trash talking?
Yeah, like I was calling what was happening, and then Kat kind of humbled me a bit, so I had to stop talking a little bit. So then it was pretty funny, but it was a 2-man band. My Warriors friend and I were yapping pretty loud. And it was really
good. That's awesome.
Oh my God! Congratulations, Wolves fans! This is insane.
Seriously,
I'm over the moon. But also, most importantly, like we didn't need to win this game, but we won this game through grit, through another player like coming in and like kind of like instilling offense when we didn't have another. Really, honestly, and this is God, man. He's God mode. All this pressure is now on him. All the cameras are now on him, and he delivers like it's nothing, man.
Dude, I can't believe it. Like you and I are like huge Ant fans to the point where we maybe support him beyond where we should. But like, this is like one of those moments where I was like, well, I mean, he's had a lot of media attention over the last week when he hasn't even been playing. Like NBA went crazy and posted hours and hours and hours of content, and then that was the first day. And then they did the next day where they did hour. And then all the talk show hosts Monday through Friday were able to talk about Ant and like, oh, is he Jordan? All this crazy stuff. And then he comes out the first round of the second round of the playoffs, first game.
For 11 points.
17 of 29.
17. Yeah.
That's
like
insane.
The start of the game, he just pops off for like 11 points, 18 to 2.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you have? 16 in the first? Yeah, it was
16 in the first. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was wild.
Yeah. It's also crazy, dude, just to hear the pulse of other teams. They are just reciting what they hear on TV, man.
I know.
That's all they say. And so I was like, actually, let's talk about this. But they didn't want to hear anything I want to say.
I had a hard time listening to a lot of, I felt like when I've been watching some of the content on YouTube over the last couple of days, I was like, man, like this is maybe a little full of myself, but I'm like, maybe we do need to make more content because like the people talking about the Wolves I'm just like, they kept talking about how like this is the defensive player of the year versus the MVP, and we're going to see Rudy on Gobert, which admittedly, I said this earlier, like he did play more on Jokic than I expected tonight, but like that has not been how it. That's not how it was during the regular season. Like you clearly have not watched the games. Guess what? You can get League Pass. You can watch the games. I just watched every single game like twice this week. So like now I'm a sicko Timberwolves fan, but like still.
You too could be a sicko Timberwolves fan.
Everybody's welcome on the sicko Timberwolves bandwagon. But no, it's just like, it's just kind of sickening to hear all these other points where it's like, I can't even listen. I felt kind of bad too. I know you like this show. I was trying to watch it, and it was No Dunks. And I can't remember the name of the host, but not
today's show.
Yeah. I don't know if it was today's show. I don't remember when it was, but he accidentally said not played for he got it confused for a second. I was like, but that's I mean, they're national, but still.
Yeah. No, I love No Dunks, but it's like there's a third wheel in the show, and the third wheel was hosting recently and did a series preview for the for the Nuggets Wolves. Yeah.
Not great. But I still love them. And I miss the starters.
Miss the
starters for sure. Wow. Well, I've kind of recapped the game. I went through everything, getting notifications on my phone from ESPN saying that the Timberwolves have beat the Nuggets. Edwards shines versus versus Denver. Timberwolves stun Nuggets 106-99 in game one as Anthony Edwards reels off his second straight 40-point performance.
Second straight.
Dude.
4-0. I thought that was a 4-0 sweep. It was actually dual purpose. It was also 40 points. Yeah. Oh my God. One thing I wanted to ask, because I wasn't really participating in the Discord too much today. I'm sorry, everyone, and also wasn't listening because the game was like barely on audio. Was like, how was the audio assist or whatever they do, where they kind of clamp in on a player?
My gosh.
Or a coach. They had the coach thing, but they had the camera on Ant's knee or something. It was so funny. And then if they had any talk with Finch at all, because like. I was surprised actually to see Finch on the court. I'm really happy, relieved, and like, how did that dynamic work? And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
First off, the audio assist thing was incredible. And this alone is going to make it, forget the 40-point games, because like him on the audio assist talking to his teammates and just talking to everybody is worth the price of admission. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like that is worth it alone.
Now too.
Yeah, and it's like, this is good because he's had it a couple times, but like nothing's really come out of that before. And this time, I don't remember any of the specific quotes. They were all like, nothing was like crazy. It wasn't like the stop fucking fouling Towns thing, but like it was along those lines where he's talking to his teammates. That was super good. And then I was kind of talking about the moment that you think you're talking about where they maybe zoomed in on Ant's knee. And it was like Mike Inori talking to everybody, and he was on the audio assist. And that was a moment like fourth quarter, I think, where, all the players were really tired, but the Timberwolves had like 4 timeouts left or something like that. So he was like, I want you guys to play as hard as you can. We've got all the timeouts that we need. You guys play hard. I will use the timeouts as needed, and so you guys can get rest. So don't worry about it. And I was like, Micah, yes, This is perfect.
That's so cool.
I'm like, okay, ESPN, shut it down. Stop listening to Micah. we need Micah around.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic. It was just so fun listening to Ant. And they had it quite a few times too. It was like 3 or 4 times that they did it. And it was always Ant. There was nobody else, I think. So
KCP, I think, mic'd up, I thought.
Oh, did they? I didn't see that one. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Super lopsided in one person's like favor.
That is weird. Yeah. Maybe everybody else on the team like declined it or something, but
well, Ant is must watch, must listen to TV. They are now knowing this. And guess what? Like, I think that's crazy. It's like a Caitlin Clark comparison, which I will shut up now here in a second. But like every camera is on her, right? Every interview, anything it's like on a full blast microscopic lens. You can't F up. You can't mess up. You can't say the wrong thing, because then it's going to be completely the opposite tone. You are under a microscope, and you also have to perform. You also have to like pop off. You also have to do actual. Like, we can only win because of you, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he pops off for 16 in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's just,
43 for the game. Oh my God. We can stop using the word special, by the way. But it is actually pretty special.
We have to. This is our first time. Like, this first game told me a lot because there was a part of me that was like, again, when we did our preview before, I was like, my brain and my heart have two different things or whatever. And in my heart, I was again this one. I've been saying like Wolves in 6 this entire time, with even some maybe Wolves in 4 kind of in my veins.
Whoa.
However,
Sorry, Denver.
but my brain kept telling me like all season I've been saying this on stream. I've been saying this to you. I've been saying this to everybody that I talk to. That sounded very Trumpy, by the way. But I, but I've been saying this to everybody is that like it's just Denver. Denver's going to win this year. Denver's too good. They whatever. It doesn't matter what they go through in a game. If they want to win, they can win. And tonight they showed signs of life late. We were up like 10. So like, there was, and then they came back and it was like a 6 or 5 point game late. So they had the ability to do so.
Yeah, for sure.
But man, by the way,
oh shit.
The 2 things. One, shout out Crone. Sorry, I've had this on the screen forever. Appreciate the 5 gifted. Sorry, I've been yapping, catching up with Ashwin, and the stream, of course. DraftKings has just put out the odds now for Timberwolves versus Nuggets. And it was favoring, obviously, the Nuggets before. It is now tied. So we're moving in the right direction. Obviously, a win has to do that. But it is basically a pick situation now. Oh, boy.
Because they showed the odds at one point, or
they did.
I started the tier list. I gotta back up.
I was like, wait, did we get banned? Yeah, they showed the odds at one point of like
more. It was like 60 to 57 after like Denver went on a 9-6 run at the start of the third quarter. I was like, all right, odds. What are these odds?
Yeah, that was weird.
Sorry, I screwed up. I have to start over.
That's okay. But about to get the tier list, but a little ad break. If anybody hasn't already liked the stream, we're almost at 50 likes, which is crazy for us this time already. So if we get some more likes, that would be awesome. Subscribe to the stream. That would be awesome. We'd appreciate it. We are going to go into the tier list where we make the rules. And actually, that's not true so much anymore because we give everybody the option. If the tier list works this time, then we're good. But yeah, so we're going to go to the tier list probably here shortly. Let me catch up on some comments here while you're pulling that up, unless you have it. Let's see. And we're doing it in the ugliest uniforms. Yes, apart from the snot jerseys. Oh my gosh, you're talking about that. Yeah, by the way, the jersey situation is ridiculous.
That's like yeah.
What's the point of having other jerseys?
No.
This is just like, this is nuts. I can't get over how stupid it is. How can you have 6 of the association icons or whatever it's called? Or is it white? I don't even know. What it is white. I know it's white, but because I hate white jerseys other than the classics. But like I'm gonna say the line. What are we talking about? Like, this is so stupid.
Okay, I did it correctly for the first time, but also I'm sorry, there's a sensational tier. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We can do sensational.
I'm so happy that I fixed the tier list in terms of like it starts from the bottom up as opposed to you start with it.
That's good.
So we have that going. I shared the link amongst everyone. If you're on Twitch or Twitter, you can click on it and then are we not on Twitter anymore? Oh, there it is.
If you're on Twitter, you should join the YouTube. The YouTube's a lot more fun, and we usually talk to people more on the YouTube. And if you want to have a comment, that's usually the best place to have it read. So
we have an hour to do all of it.
Yeah. I have pinned and both comments work. They're the same link. I've pinned one of the comments. You can choose that, and that'll bring it up. I should pull it up on my end, actually. Click the link, stupid. There we go. Okay.
It's hard to do this stuff sometimes.
Big Boy says, someone in the analytics department said we win more in white or something. Yeah, I think that's true. I also know, I think there's some stat that I saw today that's like, finals, like winners, like wear white more than they wear anything else or something. I don't know. It's something weird, but
All right, we're just getting going here. We just got it going. We have an hour to complete everything else. In terms of tiers, we got from playoff kind of expectations now. Second round playoff expectations. Meh is meh, right? A1 is God mode. We might got a couple here. Cash is if they're hitting threes and they're kind of doing all offense all the time. A is game. A is like a floor for Rudy Gobert, by the way. Wancho, we got to still kind of stick to our roots of Wancho, D'Lo. Sorry, my friend. We got Mike Conley for you and a little bit of Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And we got a Bottoms and Glenn Taylor. Sell the team, please. That's what we have going on. By the way, this tier list is also, you can't like drag or click on it. You have to click on these colors. So this color kind of corresponds to this color. Please participate. It's so much fun. More fun when more people participate. Yes. By the way, when we click, it kind of goes immediately to the next player. But here is the list currently. Oh, don't spoil. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. That's kind of where that's where we're at. And you have an hour to complete all of it, but also we're going to get through the tier list pretty quick, I hope, because
we're not going to be streaming for another hour, I don't think.
Monte Morris. I need the stats now too. I'm just going to say he didn't do anything.
I have stats if you want me to read them.
He front-ended a 3. Yeah, please do.
Okay. Yeah, he front-ended a 3, and I thought it was going to be such cash. I really thought it was going to be cash, and I was like, yes, finally, the Monte Morris revenge game.
Yes, Jesse.
No. Should be white. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God, T. Kubler. 11 more wins.
11 more wins.
Are we going game 2? Are we doing Denver in game 2?
I can't lie. After you
walked me down
to me,
yeah, you talked me down. After.
I did talk you down. We can't. It's too short. It's on Sunday, right? Yeah, no, I can't go on Sunday.
Sunday? Damn. Okay.
But think of this: we're gonna go to the Western Conference Finals against OKC, and then I'm sorry, I'm getting way too ahead of myself.
Way too.
We won a game in the second round of the playoffs. I am very happy. That's okay. There's no Nuggets fans here, right? No Nuggets fans in the chat. Expose yourself if you are. And if you are, you didn't see or hear anything. Anyways, Monte Morris played 3 minutes and did nothing. He was a +5 though. So I don't know. It's like a meh. I mean, I have no real strong feelings about this. I feel like it's meh for me.
I agree with you. Moving on.
Boom. Next.
Oh, I have to click it. Sorry.
Garza did not play. A1. No. A1. He had some great bench reactions. I will say that. Okay. I mean, for his bench reactions, if we're grading it on a playoff scale, it's they're certainly not the top of the line, but like it was good.
I did skip a couple, like the Deshaun Knicks and the the others. I didn't add them here, but all right, cool. Moving on. I thought Luka might get some minutes though.
I was kind of thinking he might too, just due to foul trouble for people. But J-Mac didn't play again. Kind of weird that he's not played any of the playoffs and that we have Monte in, but I guess you shrink your lineup, so whatever. Mark exposed themselves. Please do not expose yourself, please.
Thank you, Anthony Hollis, for that.
Who's up next? It's Kyle Anderson. Slow-mo, who only 2 points was a poster drunk or something.
Drunk? What was that? Yeah.
That was insane. I saw him kind of winding up for it, and I was like, oh, gosh, a turnover. I was like, this is so stupid. Why is Slow-mo trying to dunk right into it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he hammers it down. Well, I don't know how clean it was because it kind of rattled down, but it went in the basket. That's all I care. I'm calling it a hammer. I'm calling it a poster. That was amazing. Really, outside of that, though, he only played 12 minutes. He had 2 rebounds and assist. Picked up 4 fouls. So
sure.
I feel like I'm leaning B just because the dunk was kind of crazy, but really his performance was probably, if I'm going playoff grading, which is a new made up thing to us right now.
Yes.
Probably it's probably like a meh or even a D'Lo. Like it was not a great game for him, but like the dunk really was kind of crazy. So
Jesse wants a poster of that dunk, that rattling thrunk. That's hilarious.
FJB, I do not want a poster of that dunk. I'll pass. Speaking of posters, here, wait 1 second. Let me see if I can do this.
Waiting.
All right, I've got a secret envelope.
Wow, it better be like
poster child.
Poster child.
Yeah, this is ridiculously expensive. It was $10 to get this magazine.
Wow, and it's just for the cover. Like, there's nothing in there. It's just ads. It's probably just like take that pic, Post it.
Actually, the funniest thing, I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, let me open it up here. The first page in
Wow, we can do like
is
a cam
a
react.
loser, by the way, is a insane loser, and I
Is it
hate
LeBron?
everything about him. It's Devin Booker
Devin Booker in the inside cover.
trying to sell his shoe, which probably has like 1/100th of a thousandth of a millionth of a trillionth of the sales as Ant does.
Devin Booker has a
Worst
shoe?
colorway. The book one. Anyways,
the book
enough
one.
Booker hate. He's done. He's Cancun 1, 2, 3. But anyways, that was the poster. I think maybe, I don't know. What do we think? B for slow-mo?
That's fine with me. The best part about his game, I don't care about the fouls, is that he's just not going to be out there long. He's there to just spell minutes for Cat and or Nas and or Gobert, and he plays defense enough just to spell minutes for Gobert, right? So even if he gets into foul troubles, the stupid fouls that he's like, very demonstrably theatrically even like kind of complaining about, I don't care about any of it. We need 2 points from him. That's great. That's over expectations. I'm giving him a B. I'm giving a B.
I think it's okay. I think it's fair. Sounds like a Mormon shoe.
Anthony, I want a poster. How about you, Anthony?
Yeah. All of us underachieving types want a slow-mo poster.
Book one? What that's a book. That's not a shoe. People are going to buy on Amazon and be like, what? I expected a book, not a shoe.
Wait, what is this? I thought I was learning how to make a table. Okay.
Oh, I thought I was learning how to score 70 points and get a poster in my name and face and no loss.
Basketball for dummies. Okay, the roast of Devin Booker is complete, and we are on to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's who that is, right? Yeah, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Where is he on here? He exists somehow. There he is. He's at the bottom for some reason. He only played 22 minutes. He had 5 points in 22 minutes. He was a negative 16 tonight, which is kind of weird. He was 2 of 6, 1 of 5 from 3. That 1-3 was nice. I thought he played okay defense, maybe not his best defense ever, but like I thought it was pretty good. It was obviously bothering people at times. How many fouls did he have? He only had 2 fouls the game. I don't know. I felt like it was okay.
He had that 3 in the fourth.
He did have 3 in the fourth. I don't know. I think I kind of want to go meh.
Wow.
I'm seeing some people in the chat say D-Lo.
Wow. Because he only had 2. He only had what? He had 4 or 5 points? No, what did he have?
Yeah, 5 points. I don't know. Like, it's one of those situations where if we lose, I'm probably going to be a lot more harsh on him. But since we won, it's kind of like meh. I don't know.
I'm good and down for a meh. I'm going to grade him here now. But I will say we just need a splash, a sprinkle of offense from another player. Anything that we got from him in that Phoenix series was gravy, was extra. It was so much more on top of what we would expect. We didn't barely beat the Suns. We trashed the Suns, right?
Yeah.
Shout out Drew. Shout out former Seattle friend. Now living the best life that he can probably. You better be going to game 3 and 4, man, because you're there. I can't be there. I wish I was there.
Newest member of FaZe, Drew Nagy.
Oh, cool. Member of FaZe. Oh, that's what that symbol. Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Drew Nagy, man. Miss you, my friend. But the Na experience isn't really on a box score. Sometimes it's amazing when he gets that 3-pointer. That's all I'm saying.
It's the Jaden thing. It's just like Jaden, where it's like, you can't, like, how many years did we grade Jaden? We're like, he had 2 points, 2 rebounds, an assist, and I feel like he was an A. And it's like, that's what's crazy about it. But we do expect more offense from Na, and didn't necessarily need it tonight. I mean, we could have said that at times that we could have needed it, because there were times when we needed offense, but we survived, and his defense was a part of it.
Facts.
Yes.
Can't be D-Lo. Play defense.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a meh. So
Nas.
Cool. Nas. Reed. First half Nas. Wancho, maybe bottoms. Second half Nas.
Fourth quarter Nas.
Cash. Like A or Cash. I don't know. This is like pretty high grade for the second half.
We have a sensational tier. We
do have sensational. This is weird. This is how do you take into consideration an abominable terrible. Is that the right way to
Abominable.
use that word?
Snowman?
That is not the right word. An abomination of a
There it
first
is.
half. That's what I was trying to say. An abomination of a first half and a pretty terrific second half. It's like, and then this, not only the second half just being good, like timely shots in the fourth quarter that win us the game, that just win us the game. I struggle. I kind of feel like it's Cash. That's my initial thing. Nas Reed. My gosh. I don't know. I'm a little stuck on this one. It's certainly a high grade. I just don't know how high to go because of how bad the first half was.
Sure. Let me paint a picture for you. He's a substitute teacher, right? He's like the teacher fell sick and he has to come in and kind of just like, give a class, give a lecture, give a, like turn to the page. What page were you on? Kind of like setup, right? He has to come in cold and deliver, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe that first half, there's pressure to perform. Come back next day, kids. Like, teacher's sick, down with the flu, down with foul trouble, right? So come back next time, right? So he gets a day to prepare for the next day's kind of like class or notes or like what's the lesson, right?
Mhm.
Third quarter, he comes in, plays his role. Third quarter, Nas Reed comes in with just 2 minutes, by the way. Or no, sorry, no, 2 minutes. Sorry, I'm scrolling down with the actual facts here in a second. Sorry, I'm screwing up. Yeah, and he plays for 6 minutes. He scores 2 points. So it's not about the third quarter, but he's setting himself up for the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Cat fouls himself out of like time. So he spells minutes for Cat. He's like, yes, time. I know what to do. Bank shot a 3, put back a dunk, drive to the rim for an and one lay-in, and then get another 3. It's that easy, kids. Do your role. Drive to the rim when there's an open lane. Get offensive putbacks when there's an opportunity, and hit your threes in case you miss. You hit a bank shot. I also thought his defense wasn't bad. He just needed to be present. He just needed to be present and spell time for Ant and Cat and Gobert and all that stuff. And honestly, I was like kind of sad when he was taken out of the game for Cat to come back. And I was like, actually, I told my Warrior friend, I was like, $10, Cat falls out right here, and we were gonna get Nas right back in.
Yeah, I know exactly. I don't. I really. If we would have lost, we would have gotten that question asked to Nori probably afterwards and be like, "Why did you do that?"
Why
because
did you not?
it made no sense. We're not going to probably get it now, but I am wildly curious to know why he did that because it's like there seemingly was no reason. But yes, as you said, the defense, Manimal also second amazing comment by the way. Played decent defense on Jokic in the fourth as well. Yes, he did. He had that poke away on Jokic. Also, Jokic was in like hell for one of those possessions.
The travel call.
He had the travel call. Also, he had that one where he actually ended up scoring somehow. But like he got the ball taken out of his hands like 4 times on the way to the rim, and he still got it somehow. But like that was not easy for him.
Yeah.
And Nas was a part of that.
We had a 14-2 run, right? And I just wanted to paint a picture. It's an art class, by the way, everyone. It was an art history and then an art, like a little, I mean, we can call it Nas Reed, actually, if you want. In the first 3 quarters, he played 14 minutes and scored 2 points. Fourth quarter, he it's insane. In 9 minutes, he played 9 minutes of the fourth quarter. 14 points, 6 for 7. He hit both of his threes. He went to the line. Or he didn't go, he missed his free throw on the line, whatever. But like he did everything that was expected of him. And it's crazy because in the fourth quarter, that's winning time. That's when what was that? The stupid ass Draymond Green comment of like basketball players are made in the playoffs. Basketball players become stars or legends. Stars become legends. Legends become superstars, right? He also said that there's regular season players and then there's there's postseason players, right? The 15, 16 win kind of game players. Nas Reed kind of showed that maybe after a dud of a series against Phoenix, I don't think he's like should be shunned or should be like not prepared for, because this moment was his moment because we needed someone else to take over. Just a burst.
Anybody.
Someone else.
Yes.
And he said it's my time. And he took it from anyone, and he took it in. It was his team. It was amazing. I loved it. Exactly. I think this is a Cash. This is Cash or A. Like
I agree. I'm 100% good with Cash and hit the damn music.
Oh.
Nas Reed.
Okay.
Shout out Timberwolves Daily.
Shout out Timberwolves Daily for some reason. Is he in the
used
chat?
to play that all the time. He used to play that all the time.
Oh, shout out Timberwolves Daily.
I mean, don't you remember when all the times we watched that show together?
When we streamed at the same time?
Yeah. Mike Conley's next.
Mike Conley is up. We were on a timer. Mike Conley, similar situation. Terrible first half, great second half. 14 points, 10 assists. I mean, when's the last time we've had a Mike Conley double-double? He was a team high plus 20, and it felt like it in the second half.
Like it.
Yeah. 5 of 8, 3 of 4 from 3. I mean, he did have, I will say, the one bad thing about Conley throughout the entire game. Yeah, the turnover. He had 4 turnovers, and some of them were pretty bad. One of them was that late one when we were like trying to just like desperately force the ball to Ant, which I get it. He's the closer, but like
he didn't need to pass it.
Don't do that. Like you're right at the top. You're on the logo. Like if you turn it over, it's a dunk. Like let's stop.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, I mean, he made some clutch threes. That, his threes, Nas's offense, those two, the combo of them stretches out the floor for everybody else. And then Ant can operate, Cat can operate, Rudy can operate. He was shooting we have these options then. Talked about it before. Everybody on the parlay needs to hit, and the parlay hit tonight in the second half, especially. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's kind of the same thing. Do I go cash again? Because I feel the same as I do about him as Nas. I mean, Nas maybe made a couple more impactful. I don't know. I mean, because Mike hit that 1-3 where it was like frantic, like we have half a second,
corner.
Throw it up. Yeah. And he makes it. And it's like, that's huge. And then that was the play, I think, where the Nuggets went down and then Cat fouled Murray for the 4-point play or whatever. But either way, that doesn't have anything to do with that play. That was just like a huge bucket. And if we don't have that bucket there, what happens? Then they go up by 4 at that point. And that could be devastating. You play different. So, yeah. Quick little intermission. HP basketball on Twitter. Wolves starters stomped Denver's. Jokic -16, Murray -26, Gordon -27. Wow.
Plus minus numbers are interesting, especially in this context, but because it's like a 10-point game or like an 8-point game or whatever, right? But
yeah.
It is. They are. They do tell a story. I will say specifically, Ant's story. We'll talk about the plus minus for sure. But Mike Conley in the first half, especially in the first quarter, didn't really kind of show. He was kind of more like, okay, Ant's got it, so like I won't be like doing much of facilitating because it's like it's his time. And he's like, like Jamal Murray. They tried everything on Ant and they couldn't stop him. That was so funny. So Conley just took a back seat. And actually, that is a plus. You don't need to always have the ball in your hands. Just let the hot hand ride, and that's like kind of Finch's philosophy. And sometimes, but in the third quarter, what happened? They changed their game plan a little bit on Ant. Ant was not tired legs, but Ant had something else going on, and he was missing his shots early. Cat, we'll talk about Cat momentarily, but in like 5.5 minutes, he was a bucket. Like he was a flamethrower. He was he was everything that we need him to be for 48 minutes in 5 minutes, right? But right after he was taken out because of his 2 fouls, because that's what happens with him, we needed someone else to score. And Conley took over in that very moment.
Yes.
And for that reason only, because Ant didn't have it going, Cat was kind of in and out of the lineup, and no one else was doing anything. We were sensational in the third quarter, but like no one else had shots. Conley took over. And I just think it's an A. It's a cash. It's sensational. It's any one of those 3. Pick your poison. Let's go cash. Move.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to keep it fair, because I feel the same about him as I feel Nas. So even though I, for some reason, wanted to go A. Anyways, Jaden. Where's Jaden on here? Why does this list so weird? 39 minutes. He had 8 rebounds and 0 points. What? Okay. That's like the weirdest stat line of the season for Jaden, because he's struggled with rebounding all season, and he's been a little bit better on offense this season. So that's super strange. He was a plus 14. He took 7 shots and missed all of them. Only 1 foul for Jaden.
Crazy.
1 foul. Crazy. That is crazy. Kyle fell on the sword for him and got 4. But no, Jaden played suffocating defense tonight and didn't pick up more than 1 foul, had 8 rebounds, and didn't need to score a point, I guess. I still, this is the thing. This is why you get very optimistic if you're a Timberwolves fan right now, because I know that the Nuggets will say that they didn't play perfect tonight either, but we certainly did not either. We had a lot of players that left a lot to be desired on one end of the floor or the other.
Totally.
So, like, Jaden not scoring a single point, guys, he scored 25 in a game against the Suns. So if he has a 25-point game in game 2, I mean, that's crazy, because maybe Ant doesn't go for 43, but some of these other things could happen. Gobert also only had 6 points tonight. So, we've got some weird stat lines out there tonight. And we have improvements that we can make. We did not play the perfect game. So we're going to go into game 2. And sure, the Nuggets are going to make things difficult on us. They're going to exaggerate probably more physicality with Towns and stuff like that. But they're going to make adjustments. But we are too. We have the room to do that. We didn't play a perfect game where we suddenly just have to kind of stand pat and say, yeah, let's make them beat us. We can be it better. So, and Jaden's a part of that scoring. I mean, you play 39 minutes and don't score a single point. That's kind of wild. But when you're that much of a defensive presence, it makes sense. So, kind of hard to grade him, as always.
I don't know if it's that hard, because sometimes when you look at box score numbers, you can actually take Jaden and Nikhil's score and kind of like where they're competitors, right? Can you offset anything that Murray and Porter Jr. and the others do? All right, so Jaden, if you were to say the plus or minus the difference between Jamal Murray and Jaden was 17 points, would you be like, oh, he did his job? Because the difference was 17 points between Murray and McDaniels. It's not nothing. But if you think about it, like if Murray pops off for 40 and then Jaden has 23 points, right? The difference is 17. It's the same thing. Yep. And so it's like a really dumb thing I just said. So thank you for smiling and acknowledging and saying,
that is not a dumb thing. That is like elite. That is actual analytics. You just actually spewed actual analytics. I love
We're not about analytics on the show, man. We're hashtag instant analysis. Murray had like nothing in the first half.
Yeah.
So that's the same as Jaden. So as much as Jaden was like, like pressured to score at moments, we will go to him every time. However, Denver, you must go to Murray every time, because Murray is like half of your offense. And the shots he made had to be incredible fadeaway buzzer beater, like underhanded layups with 1/10 of a second left in the shot glass, right? Like, so like he had to make those shots, and then he got himself going a little bit. He saw a couple shots of the free throw line go in, so then he got, but like it took that much time to get going. Oh, I'm sorry. Jaden didn't need to score. He just needed to play solid, and I thought he was an A for that. However, he's not going to always get the ball to shoot and score. But in the Phoenix series, they doubled Ant. They doubled off of Jaden. So Jaden had a free lane of the rim. They're not going to always double off. They're going to put the Michael Porter Juniors and stuff like that on him. Good.
Yeah.
Because if they're doubling Ant, then we're going to get Jaden going, but they're not doubling Ant. So thank you. Next.
Exactly.
A for Jaden. Sorry. I know it's crazy to say that.
I'm in it because we can't go cash. You can't give cash to somebody that got 0 points, but it was it's an A. Yeah.
I forgot my grades already. There it is.
The counting.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Rudy Gobert, 35 minutes, 6 points, 13 rebounds, 3 blocks. He was a plus 12. Wow. He was 3 of 6 from the field. Did have 4 fouls, no turnovers, thankfully. No weird, what is it? I can't remember what they call it. Great voltage, but the fast breaks, stuff like that. Tragic Bronson, no tragic Bronson. But no, this again, this is like you look at the stats and you're like, yeah, this is okay for Rudy. However, the amount of, just the pure, like the end of the game situation, the clutch defense was amazing because him playing Jokic and Gordon, both never minding the layups into lobs and then swatting the lobs away, like that is impressive and something that very few people in the league can do physically, let alone know to do that, have the smarts and be able to do that. Seriously, insane defense at the end. Push shot was scary, but it went in a clutch moment. I mean, like he played clutch moments. He played in clutch time today, and it was fantastic. So this was a great game from Rudy. He was out on the 3-point line at that one point, also guarding Porter, and then Porter was like, "I don't know what to do. I can't figure out anything." Yeah,
I know.
and not that Porter is like the best creator ever. Like he's a lot more of like a catch and shoot three guy, obviously, but like he does a little bit of that, and he looked very lost. So that was, the impact June. Seriously, such an insane thing. Can we just give Rudy cash just for the push shot? Oh man, it was a really good game. Now, if we're gonna try to avoid tierflation, where do we go for this? Because this is a little tricky. I don't like this was a really really good game. But obviously there could be even better because he could score too. But not that's what we need. But the defense tonight was. I mean, I'm trying to avoid saying the S word, but it kind of feels like it was
incredible with an S.
Maybe. Add an incredible tier. No, I'm just kidding.
Jokic was 11 for 25. 2 for 9 from 3. 2 for 9 from 3. When Jokic is shooting threes, we win. Honestly, when Jokic is shooting threes, Gobert typically sags off a bit. Jokic was completely guarded, hounded by Gobert all night, 94 feet, honestly, and had to post. Had to basically be a black hole on offense just to get his shot maybe up. And he had some really crazy circus shots 5 feet from the rim sometimes. And that is brought to you by Gobert. The fake closeout to then disrupt the oop to Gordon with 2 minutes left. Do you remember that?
Yes, I know. That was incredible. That's the thing that I keep thinking
of. It's the stuff that is not talked about is what is in Gobert's DNA, and he could have never done that in Utah. He could have never done that at any other team. It's the fact that he's not, I wouldn't say special, but the fact that he's able to do these kind of things because he can trust his others, right? And then now he can play the mind games with his opponent because he has full faith in what has happened on the perimeter.
Yes, because he's come in and, there's been tension with him in the past, with him and Donovan Mitchell and other teammates where it's he has this very thought out system of how defense should work in his mind. And he is an elite defensive mind when it comes to this. So he came to the Timberwolves with a blank slate and was able to kind of install his version of the defense into the team. And then now you hear Ant talking about it. He's like, we just had to start trusting Rudy, both offensively and defensively. And it's like, once we start trusting Rudy, because Rudy is in there communicating to everybody, telling everybody where they need to be, what he's going to do. He's doing all the right switches, all the right, going out to the 3-point line. He just understands when to do these things. It's sensational.
Perfect. Let's move on. Oh, shit. Shoot. Sorry.
Oh,
I did something bad. My bad.
That's okay. Nothing illicit was on the screen.
Boom. Voted.
Whoa. Boom.
Failed to fetch. There it is.
Oh, okay. Weird. All right. Meow Meow is up. By the way, before we get into Cat, like the stream, everybody. I know we got a lot of you here. We got over 200 of you guys here. That's insane. Like the stream, subscribe to the stream, because we do this after every game. And guess what? The Timberwolves are doing things. We're looking good.
Yeah, it's borderline stop guessing, trust in what you're seeing now, man, and kind of be joyful about it too. Just don't be frustrated by one small play here or there. The tic tac foul that we're going to be talking about, a player that's going to frustrate us. It frustrated me the crap out tonight, and I had to stay humble after my complete I was an asshole at the bar, and then Cat does some things, and I'll be like, all right, fine, I have to sit down.
Yeah, the Cat stuff. That's why I'll never really talk too much in person, because I just can't handle the repercussions of what he'll do to make me go back on my word. Anyways, Sean Robinson says, I anticipate so much love for Cat.
That's great.
Here we go.
This is my friend. Hey,
Sean.
Yeah. Yes. You silly ass.
Okay, good. I was like, Karl Anthony Towns, 30 minutes. 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He shot 8 of 13. There's that best shooting big. He had 5 personal fouls.
That's a big shooting big of ours, yeah.
Yeah, one really bad one. A 3-point play that became a 4-point play.
4-point play. Murray as well.
Yeah, just stupid. But He came out, like we mentioned, a lot of this stuff is stuff we already talked about, but of course, he came out in that third quarter right away. Boom, like 10 points or more right off the gate. That's perfect because Ant had 25 in the first half. So, in my head, I was unfortunately watching, well, maybe not unfortunately. I shouldn't be trashing them because they're good teams. I was watching the Cavs and the Magic the other day, and it was like watching Donovan Mitchell go for 50 in a game where his team only scored like 90 or something like that. And that's kind of what it felt a little bit like in the first half of this game, where it was like, okay, well, if Ant's going to go for 50, like, I don't want to have it be like, oh, okay, well, next game, we really have to not rely on Ant. We have to like get everybody else involved. And I was like, please, somebody else do something. And then Cat did right away, which was just massive. So had that three, had some drives, had an and one, super, super good. He got a foul literally 0.5 seconds into the game. Not joking. Off the tip.
No way.
What are we doing? You missed it? Oh my gosh.
I missed the first
Ashwin, I was immediately went from such like a happy week of like, wow, the Timberwolves are like going on to the second round and like we might even have a shot.
Throw in the towel.
And immediately it's like we're talking about how Towns is going to have to be guarding Jokic and he picks up a foul fighting with like KCP for the tip. Dude, lock in. Stop effing fouling, as Anthony Edwards just said. And I'm going to keep repeating because it's just like, how can you do this after the entire week? Everybody's like, wow, look, Ant's being so honest and like sharing this feedback. No, you even saw it. And I hate to be so negative. I'll stop here in a second. But even in that interview, he kind of goes back at Ant and he's like, well, I was just trying to play defense. Maybe that's why I get fouls. Shut up and just defend like a normal human being. Anyways, back to Towns.
Defend like a normal human being.
He is not a normal human being. However, other than that, the offense was fantastic. Seriously, that third quarter was massive. Also one kind of weird thing to note, like he left in the third quarter or something like that, went back to the locker room, seemingly for no reason. I hope that there was he didn't go back with anybody. He wasn't limping, wasn't anything. It had to have been a bathroom break. I don't know, but yeah, no, I mean, Towns has come to play. I will say I know we're just talking about this game, but just in general, these playoffs have been better for Towns. I mean, this is clearly a player growing from the playoffs experience that he's had because, the Memphis series was somewhat of a shit show. And then the Denver series last season was better. He still fouled out and had a lot of fouls per game. And this season seems to be a lot better. He's scoring at a pretty consistent rate in the playoffs. He's had some pretty big moments. He's been able to keep his cool for the most part. But yeah, just some stupid fouls, some great scoring tonight. What are your takes on Towns? And actually, while you say your takes on Towns, I'm going to quickly grab water because I am dry mouth from yelling about Towns.
Ooh, dry mouth. Say it again. I'm going to keep it simple. When Cat keeps it simple, it's remarkable. It's sensational. It's cash. It's A1 tier production because he just needs to shoot in the three, pick his spots where he's wanting to be, get open for when Ant drives and has to find a kick out mate, right? Do pick and roll, pick and pop stuff with like Gobert and or Ant at times or Conley, right? When he keeps it simple, he's remarkable. He's more than a weapon. He's an asset. He's relied on. But the fact that he does other things because he thinks about wanting to do other things, it really puts a pill, like a poison pill in that, like a blemish on his record, a blemish on his stats. And he's like, what we'll talk about him for seasons on end and to the end of his career he's just been a foul prone machine who tries to do just 1 to 5 too many things. If he just keeps it to the basics, the simple thing while you were out, Cam, all I said was he needs to keep it simple and he's amazing. Yeah. He's God tier.
Yep. Seriously.
The thing that he's best at is shooting from the perimeter. And the thing that he's also best at is sometimes offensive rebounding and putbacks, but not sprinting to the offensive rebound, but just getting and being there. He only had 4 rebounds tonight. He was not there. He only had 4 3-point attempts tonight. He was not there. But what happened was the change of tune, the change of his attitude. He reset himself after halftime. He got himself going, and then we rode that hot hand for as long as we could because we actually don't know how long we have with Cat in this moment, and it turns out only 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Ant, we cannot win with Ant going out for 50. Actually, maybe we can, but like we need another player, and we couldn't find it in the first half with Nas or Nikhil or Jaden or even Gobert. Right? We only had like 4 or 5 points from Conley in the first half as well. Right? So it had to be someone else. So we didn't get anything from anyone. It was just the Ant show. When Ant was not being part of the offense, and when Ant was like on the bench, it looked awful. In the third quarter, it was so right to start Cat going, to get Cat moving, because then we find another option, so then they can't sag off of others. And I think that was a big part of our win tonight, was actually Cat popping off that moment, because otherwise it would have been Ant. It would have to have been Ant, and Ant was missing his shots early, so it had to be found. We had to find someone else going. I thought it was amazing.
100% agree. And this is way too far of a thought, and I'm not going to go too deep down this rabbit hole. I'm going to stop myself. Ashwin, don't have a counterpoint to this because I don't want to go there. But we during the game, I kept thinking, like I need Cat to do well, because I know that Cat playing the best version of himself is better than, like, this is an off-season conversation. Obviously, I'm not trying to get in any of this right now. But if he is to be going, like if ownership seriously is thinking about trading him to stay under the luxury cap or whatever, we've talked about it in the past. We've talked about it for years about like Towns trades and what could be different and all that kind of stuff. Towns, as the best version as he is the player we need next to Ant to win championships.
I think because so. Multiple, plural. By the way.
Exactly. Because if we have Towns as like that beginning of the third quarter player, that's better than any like extra shooters or whatever that Ant could pass out to, because he is a creator. He is a dominant 3-point shooter. And he's somebody that can like draw fouls and play pretty good defense. Like this is the player that needs to be there. We just need him to lock in, because if he locks in, we are talking championships. If you told me right now that we were going to get a locked in Towns for the rest of this series and the playoffs, I guarantee we win the finals. Maybe easily. Because if we have Cat as that one amazing, like the amazing player we know he can be, with Ant and Rudy as your defense, and then you have all these great defenders and wing players that can shoot threes, it's over. Nobody can beat that. Not Boston, not Denver, not OKC, not the Mavs, not anybody.
Not the Lakers.
Not the Lakers. But you can't tell me, nobody can tell me that Towns is going to be locked in for the rest of these playoffs. So I can't tell you that. But that's the thing that's going to have to happen this series, the next series, and the next series, if there is one. It's that's what we're going to have to worry about. So
yeah, I will say, I'm not even going to defend him really, but I will say he has had to play the Kevin Durant and like a bigger role at the 4 than he was probably potentially even anticipating when he came into the season, and has to guard Jokic, like guaranteed he has to guard him for half the game, if not more. So he's spending a lot of energy on that side of the ball, and I'll give him a lot of credit for that. And he might not be where he needs to be for the rebounds, but I think you got to elevate your game. I'm sorry that Draymond Green about the regular season versus postseason players. You got to elevate your game. You got to do something extra. You can't just be there to get wins. You got to get there to the play. You got to make the plays to get the wins. You can't just expect things to go your way. You got to like manifest it. You got to procure that. You got to like get down and do the things that you need to do to win the game. And like that is shooting threes. That is getting putbacks. That's getting those post-up situations where there's a small on you. There were several times when there was like Murray on Cat. There was like the Peyton Watson or whatever on Cat. And we did not take advantage of that, because that's part of his DNA. Is he can't get to that correct post position all the time. Yes. And you know what? Denver's defense is not A tier, but it's so much better than Phoenix. So he has to find not the best shot, but the shot that is needed right now. And I mean, to a lot of extent, he has to figure that out. He has to be disciplined enough to like learn where that is and figure that out, but also to not get into foul trouble. That's always going to be our bigaboo. That's always going to be the reason why the blemish to any season success is like Cat is remarkable when he's on the court. Take himself off the court, he's just a bench. He's on the bench. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like, where's the value, right? So
There's
you got to make sure that you stay on the court. And those ticky-tack fouls, man, that and one against the Jamal Murray, that like really silly foul against Aaron Gordon when you know that was happening. It was like really like, and the 2 seconds in the game, like these are things that are just not a $60 million. These are not mistakes. These are just like he just doesn't have it in his head.
He doesn't. Yeah, this is just built into him at this point. Ashwin, I cannot wait for you to rewatch the game and see the first 2 seconds and lose your mind, even though you know he won. Like, you're just going to lose your mind. It's the stupidest. It's the stupidest play ever.
I can't wait.
Anyways,
I'll live stream it on Twitch.
All that to say, I think Towns is probably an A.
I think he's an A. All that to say, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're always going to have super harsh criticism of Towns because he's been in the league so long, and we've had these same kind of issues for so long. But like, based on
they're elevated, they're exposed. There's these things are exposed now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Can you correct this? Can you self-correct your? Yeah, go ahead.
To answer your question, I don't think he can. So I think you have to compensate in other ways, which is either shooting more and making more buckets to make up for the mistakes that are going to happen. Because I just don't think he can correct that. I don't think he can. But who knows? Yes.
Despite everything, he's an A.
Yep.
All right. Despite everything.
Next up,
Anthony Edwards.
Charlie Barley. Next up, no debate. And I think you're right. Anthony Edwards played 42 minutes tonight. Almost collapsed on the court in the first half because he was so winded, needed oxygen. 43 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks, a steal. He was 17 of 29. He was 3 of 7 from 3, had 6 free throws, made all of them. Only 1 personal foul. I think that first one happened in the first quarter as well.
Wow.
And I mean, just an insane game from Ant. I will say, obviously this is a fantastic game, and I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I'm going to say he's had some incredible games before where it's been like, yes, this is I love this. I can see the star like blossoming. I can see it happening. It's like, it's on the verge, but tonight was one of those games, and I hate to make this comparison because I know we have beef with OKC fans. However, when Shea plays, he gets to his spots and he doesn't just like make shots, he drains the shots. And it's like hitting the back of the rim straight down or just all net. It's like no doubt about it. It's not like these rattle in kind of things. Ant tonight got to his spots, which has kind of been my main criticism all season, is that like he doesn't have spots that he gets to. He's like a wild child, and he can be on the right side of the floor, the left side of the floor. He can be driving from the corners. He can be he can be doing anything. He can literally do anything, which is sometimes a good thing. But for him, an insanely difficult task to be good from everywhere. But tonight, he was posting up, getting to the spots that he wanted to, turnaround jumper, bucket. Like bottoms, so good. This was like maybe the first full game where I saw Ant and I was like, he is 1000% not just an all-star, not just like an all NBA player. He is a superstar. Like, obviously, I'm already a crazy fan of Ant, and like I gush about him all the time on these shows, but like this was next level. And I didn't realize that there was even more that he could do. This is fantastic. You're playing against the defending champs. You scored 43 points. You just scored 40 points in the game 4 to close out a series. And now you're doing this. This is fantastic. There is no way this is not A1.
Yeah, I didn't even need to hear your thoughts at all. I'm sorry. I already pre-graded him. Sorry, man. Yeah. Everything that you said was irrelevant. He's an A1. He's MJ tier, totally tie time. Absolutely.
Yes.
The thing that I want to just point out is all of his majority of his points in the first quarter were at the rim. We're in the paint. We're just like, take it. He's like taking this game from Denver. It's 18-2. Ant has everything going. 11 points, right? It's insane. He had the 3 here. That's fine. But like, the second half, the adjustment was they're pressuring him a little bit more. They're doubling him when he drives the rim. So those rim, and then they're actually even because the 3-point the shot was not going for the rest of the team. They even started like not zone, but kind of like sag off of him to then have the paint be super like congested. Especially when we had fucking like slow-mo and Gobert out there, right? Like it was like they just sagged off of him, and so he couldn't drive to the rim. So then he took his game to the mid range. In the second half, that mid range is absolutely MJ tier. Those shots should never be attempted by any player, but he has worked on his game to the point where the bank shot is reliable, his mid shot is reliable, and to the point where in the new DNA of the NBA, right, dunks, layups, and threes are what's talked about and guarded and contested. We allow mid-range as our defensive philosophy. They're doing it too. He found his spots. The one-on-one matchup is not good enough for Denver. They need to do something else because we will beat you. As Ant said in his post game against Phoenix one day when he's like, "Dare you to beat me because we're winning this game." They have to beat us, so they have to do something different. And they went to a zone. They went to a small lineup with KD at the 5. They went to a one-on-one matchup with Beal, who has 5 fouls versus Ant. They did not step up their game. It's crazy.
No.
They conceded to Ant, honestly. You could see that here, and the writing was on the wall. Ant is going to take this shot. They were doubling, triple teaming him, and he's making the right play. But once the second they had just Jamal Murray on him, backs him up, just complete fadeaway, and it's a bucket. It's an absolute, you cannot. He's not missing that anymore. And this fourth quarter shot chart it's crazy. It's all in the mid range where he wants to be, and on top of that, 2 block shots. This emphatic block shot to get that go ahead for Cat to get that and one dunk. I think he missed the free throw. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's doing both sides, and I also want to say that does tip my hat to Finch because offense is kind of taught in a lot of ways, but instincts aren't. Instincts are what you've learned yourself and then kind of groomed into. He has insane instincts. He wants to score at any given moment. But then there are these sets. Then there's this flow that he gets to work into. And defense is all about effort. And you see those Devin Bookers. You see those Trae Youngs. You see those other players that are kind of one-side-only players, all-star players to build around. However, sorry, Luka Doncic. On the other end, you're kind of like a sieve. You're kind of just a flag for a boulder run through, a red flag for the boulder run through. Ant is not that player. There is no plays off that Denver can kind of concede.
No, exactly.
And so, he's an absolute stun on both sides of the ball, and he's picking up his effort on that side of the ball. 2 block shots, 7 rebounds, by the way, more rebounds, almost double the rebounds as Cat. I even joke with my friend Shad that he should be setting screens for Cat because he's the one who's going to do all the things to get the win, right? And I'm just saying, that even should be part of our DNA, honestly. He does it all, and he could have had 10 assists tonight. He made the right plays most of the time. The shots were not falling for those teammates. And when he let when Nas popped off, he allowed he didn't take over from Nas. He let Nas shine. I think that's also a moment to just celebrate the fact that we have another little spurt here from another player. He allows that to happen. He doesn't take away from. Okay.
That's a good point.
Kyrie has a couple shots here and there, and then it's Luka's turn. Luka completely guts that momentum, right? When Beal had a couple points, they stopped going to him because he, I'm just saying, and KD in the fourth quarter in Game 4 had 2 points. KD was popping off all series. You can't just do that. You allow your others to shine and take those moments, but then it's winning time. Then you have to take over, and then you take those fadeaway middies, and it just looks poetic. It's 100%. We are so spoiled rotten. 43 points, man.
It's crazy. I know.
In Denver.
Yeah. And we have control now with a really solid team. There's been other teams that we've had where not in the playoffs, but you're maybe we can just have a couple good games to really swing momentum and just steal a series or something. This doesn't feel like stealing. This feels like we're maybe just winning. We are a good team. And this is fantastic. We've got a bright future. Now, of course, that doesn't mean we can't. We still have to lock in because this is the champion. These are the defending champions. Just because they went down one game, this is a 7-game series. It's first to 4, so they could certainly come back. I don't think that playing at Target Center is going to be as big of a bonus. Obviously, it's a plus for the home team, but I don't think it's a guarantee that we win every game at Target Center. Just like it wasn't a guarantee that Denver wins every game in Ball Arena or whatever it's called. But it looks like 11 wins to go. You have the tier list completed now.
Yeah.
So, what are our results?
Oh, I already
my
shared.
dog
All right.
speaks.
These are the
Okay.
results. This is our list. We put a little sensational for Rudy,
Yeah.
but that's basically it. Maybe Cat bumps up a bit for everyone,
Okay.
and that's the majority. I guess Luca gets a downgrade. Sorry, Luca.
Sorry, Luca.
I don't know if this is a comparable analogy or just a similar situation. I don't know. What was it like? 11 o'clock at night. Kendrick Lamar responds to Drake. And this like rap battle is going on and on and on. It's really kind of interesting, compelling, and like I'm feeling passion here, and I'm learning a lot more about these hip hop all stars. Like this is going to be a battle, right? But it was a one sided affair in Phoenix.
Yeah,
they had 3 like versions of of a leader, of an all star caliber player, of like a championship kind of contending like Super Saiyan, and they didn't get any of them going except for Game 4, where Booker pops off for 49 and keeps the basketball in an L. Right? Like Ant is actually delivered.
Yep.
Incredible. Year 4, taking over the NBA. Every camera, lens, photo, phone, all eyes are on him.
It's
43
nuts.
points.
I can't believe it. It's so crazy.
Denver fans had to shut the fuck up. Like they just had to marvel in that. It's just they have to sit in this L, sit in this loss, and see how they can adjust, because they now have to double team Ant, and Ant might have like a 20-point game, but also everyone else will pop off for their shots. So it's like you can't actually really game plan. You just have to play as hard as you can. They have to dig in. Sorry, Denver. We got your number.
Yeah. You want to watch an interview?
Let's do it.
Might be kind of long. I don't know if we need to watch the whole thing, but we can.
I don't care.
Let me pull
I'm done talking.
up. Tab. Mike and Ant in the hats.
I love seeing that.
This is cool. Okay, let me whatever this. Gotta turn the volume on.
As the late game stuff in the second half of the year was often a struggle, especially offensively. This is 2 games in a row now, playoff games, where you've closed it out by getting good looks. What is the biggest thing that's evolved, you think, for this team to get to the point where you can execute so well offensively down the stretch?
I mean, just the whole team. We trust each other. You know, it doesn't matter down the stretch who takes the shot. Just find an open guy. Everybody put the work in. So, you know, and I trust my teammates. So, for sure, I can't wait to pass it to them if they're open.
You want me to answer that too?
Yeah.
I think our organization's been good. Getting to a few sets that we really like, stuff that is easy for Ant to read, and you know, he makes plays late game, and we, as a supporting cast, got to be around him and help him out. And he's done a good job of finding us late games and giving us confidence.
Ant Finch has talked about how important starts are to the game. You come on, you got 13 points in the first couple minutes of this game. What did you have right away out of the jump here?
I just felt good. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. I didn't have anything, and my teammates found me on some easy layups. You know, I've never got that many easy buckets, so that was pretty fun.
And how important is that mentality of yours before this game, before facing the champions, the actual champions? So how important is that mentality for you and for the team? How do you take that mentality to them?
I mean, I lost to these guys last year, you know, and they are the defending champs. They're a hard team to beat. Great team. They got great players. They got the best player in the league with Nikola Jokic. To me, they got the best closer with Jamal Murray, the best three-point shooter with Michael Porter Jr. So it's tough to beat this team. It's not just my mentality; it's the team mentality. We come in and you know we know it's going to be a war, and you know we just play within the game and just stay within the game. They make runs. We know we got to make our runs and just fight, man. It's going to be a fight.
Mike, Nikhil said in the locker room the other day that you wait to score. And was the second half one of those occasions where you knew you had to come out and be a scorer and be a much more aggressive?
Yeah, no, Ant was shooting all the balls in the first half. So it was hard to get a rhythm. No, but you know, you just gotta play with the flow of the game. You know, he had it going. got us out to an early lead. And for me, I'm comfortable, waiting until the second half. And I've done that a lot throughout my career. I've done that a lot this season. And other guys trust me to do that and be aggressive. They all tell me to shoot more and look for my shot more. And tonight was one of those nights.
But Ant, you're also one of those people, everybody's saying you're trusting your teammates. When your teammates were as cold as almost everybody was in the first half, does that make it harder when you know you're on?
Make what hard?
Make it harder to get off the ball?
No, no, not at all. I mean, these guys gonna make shots. I mean, everybody gonna miss shots. I'm gonna miss shots. I'm not gonna make all my shots. I don't care how many shots they miss. If they're open, I'm gonna pass it every single time. I see the work that they put in, So yeah, I don't care how many shots you take, make or miss. I'm gonna throw it to you if you're open.
And
just pointing out that that's exactly what we were just talking about. And it's a fantastic question from Britt, because you were just talking about how it's like Ant is not the one that's going to take away from other people's moments. He's the one that's always passing. That's the perfect question. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, Jokic took 8 attempts in the fourth quarter. Murray hit 5. That's what they're expected to do, right? Ant is supposed to take over this game. Only took 5 shots in the fourth quarter. Made 4 of them, by the way. Only took 5 shots. Like Nas took 8 or whatever it was. Like Nas had the bulk of the shots in terms of the fourth quarter. Yeah, like he'll make the right play every time, and it's like case in point.
Yeah.
The team challenge is obvious. You're coming into the opposing players' building and then the defending champs. Is there any part of the individual challenge that speaks to you, that gets you excited? I mean, you're going up against a team that has the guy considered the best player in the league, reigning Finals MVP, could win a 3rd MVP this year. But you have something to say for how you can play. I mean, does that excite you at all?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Going against the best player in the world is always fun. Going against the best team in the world is always fun. And like I said, man, they're well coached. They're disciplined. They're not going to beat themselves. And I feel like our coaching staff did a great job of game planning throughout the 3-4 days that we had, and our guys came out and competed tonight. So it's not about just me personally. It's about my team. They give me confidence also. I mean, seeing the third quarter, I didn't do anything. I was just out there running up and down. And Mike and Kat came out big for us, so that gave me confidence, to try to find myself.
And you had a big game, but your 6th man of the year came up big time for you guys tonight. Talk about what you saw from Nas tonight in that second half, and what he did for you guys.
He stayed patient. It's a lot of growth within Nas, man. Like he didn't check out the game. He wasn't worried about his makes or misses. He just kept playing, and I think defense got him going tonight. Coach told him to start fronting, and he started fronting. We got a couple steals. He was able to get out, get some putbacks, play off the catch. He played within the flow tonight. He didn't let nothing bother him as far as the game not going his way. And eventually it'll come to you, man, if you be patient. And he did that, man. He came up big. He was the reason we won tonight.
Obviously.
I'm so glad that you put this in the chat. This is what I'm exactly going to pause for.
Wow.
Nikola Jokic was asked on how he can be impactful against the Wolves' big 3 and Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid. After thinking for a good 5 seconds, he answered, "To duplicate a clone of myself." That is kind of a crazy comment. Now, I will say, as we all kind of understand Jokic, and he is very nonchalant about everything. So I'm sure that this is not going to be taken super seriously. It'd be different if I don't know, if LeBron came out and said something like that. It's a humongous red flag.
It's just basketball.
Yeah, it's just basketball. But that is like a crazy thing to say after losing game 1. That, maybe that gives a little bit of an insight to the mind of the Denver Nuggets players right now, because that kind of seems like a broken person, to say something like that after a game. We broke their spirits. I'm not going to say that. You win 4 and then you break their spirits, as Anthony Edwards says. But
that's true.
Yeah, man.
I want to say something here. The answers are just amazing. The way that he's so composed, and the way that have someone else on the mic. They wouldn't say this at 22 years old. I'm still fumbling. I'm still saying everything that's nonsense that I'm saying, and you guys are eating it. I don't understand that, but you guys are. We're here as a community, but I'm just saying. Just think about what Denver did last season. They were spoilers, don't you think? They were They are playing for themselves. They built this team for 4 years. Game 82, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever that was, where we got the playoff bid. That like was a turning point for the league and for Denver, where they're like, we're going to build around these two players, build around the structure that we got, and conserve and like buy into this, but not reach for all-star talent. But like they persevered through that building process, like kind of like even doubly exposed in like the bubble, right? I'm just saying. So they got into fruition where they got into the championship level and they beat Miami and they got their championship. They got their win. Now they have to do it all over again. Now that like the Band-Aid is not ripped off, but like they've won, and now everyone's gunning for them. And now they're a little bit older, but also now they're a little bit different. They don't have Bruce Brown. They don't have Jeff Green. They don't have some of the players that got them there, that got them some actual production when it wasn't Murray and Jokic the whole time. Crazy to think, but they have to they looked a little not defeated, but they looked a little worn down in that Lakers series. It took them 5 games, but boy, it was a lot of work. And it's Lakers. It's the Lakers D. It's Lakers on the other end of the ploy, where like LeBron had 9 turnovers a game. You know what I mean? We are such a different team than Lakers on both sides of the ball. They have to play so much harder. We are working them for all 48 minutes. And I mean, dare I say, we're the better team here. We are the better team. And we are also hungry. We're baby fucking Timberwolves needing to win something for the first time in our franchise. So, and the writing's on the wall. Like, even with Finch out, even with like Conley as old as he potentially is, it's like, this is our chance, our like one shot almost. We have to go all in. Denver did it. So like maybe they're a little complacent. Maybe they're a little bit like, oh, we've done it before. It doesn't have to happen. Oh, woe is us. If it doesn't happen, we'll try it again next year. I don't know. It's like,
I agree.
I don't know about them feeling defeated, but I do feel like they're working so much harder than they've ever had to just to say, hey, we did it before. We've already won.
If you can make it hard enough on them that it might just be the breaking point might be faster than it may have been last year, because last year they were championship-less. So like they were going to fight for anything. And this year, if we can play amazing defense like we did tonight, and really make it hard on them to have a good time and have flow, bench flow, but like have that flow of their offense, the breaking point could be earlier maybe than people had expected. I'm not saying that, one game, again, we've just won one game. So we're not on to the next round. We're not even like close, really. I mean, this is a huge win. I'm not trying to downplay the win either. Like, this is a massive win. You stole one of the first 2 games, maybe not stole. We can think of the vocabulary for the word that we want to use, but like, we won one of the first 2 games where basically in the playoffs, home teams should be winning every game, essentially. It's not what happens always, but like, especially good teams win their home games. We're playing a good team and we just beat them at home. That's huge. So, I'm just saying that breaking point might be a little bit closer than maybe people expected. So I agree 100% with what you're saying. Cool.
Nick Anderson's is snatched. We snatched him.
We snatched it. Okay. I like that.
That's funny. I like it.
Yeah, man.
I was telling my friend Sean here, like, they're going to need a lot more from the others. I think their 3-point shot needs to be going. And the X factor of the series is not any one of our players, because I think we are who we are now. And like, you have to beat us. You have to beat us, right? So the X factor for the series is Michael Porter Jr. And I think he's elevated his game. But they are going to always rely on Jokic and Murray for the bulk of their usage, the bulk of their offense. And I think they have something in Michael Porter Jr. as a creator, but they aren't going to it as much because they just haven't had the chance to practice this for multiple seasons, if not like a postseason run with him with the ball in his hands for a long period of time. I think they need to use him more, but we have weapons and or counterpoints to that. They now need to beat us at our game, playing our game. Like, I think that can't happen for 48 minutes, let alone a game, let alone 7-game series. I'm sorry. Wolves in 5.
Wolves in 5. Okay. Do we want to keep watching this or do we want to move on?
Oh, we can keep watching. I'm sorry. We should keep watching. It's like way more exciting than whatever the fuck I'm saying.
Obviously, this is for both of you guys. This franchise hasn't been at this stage in 20 plus years.
Who cares?
How much of this do you guys relish introducing the Timberwolves against the champions in their building in this, sort of environment?
Man, I think Ann will say the same. I think we're just locked in on what we're doing.
20 years ago.
Yeah, we haven't even
I probably wasn't even born when they hit. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think it's about that. We just coming out to play. Yeah, it's not about introducing us to nobody. We know who we are. We don't care what people say or what people think about us. We're a collective group. We trust each other. It's all love between us, and we're well coached. So we coming out, and as long as we got each other back, it don't really matter what anybody else think.
And kind of following your career from the moment you were drafted, it seemed like the one thing that you've always wanted to defy about people's opinion of you is that you would never be a good shooter in the NBA, or that you might be a below average shooter. Over the years, just how much work have you put into your shot and becoming the kind of shooter that you are today?
A lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Super tiring, but it's all worth it when it shows, like on nights like tonight. Because of course, when I came in the league, the thing was I couldn't shoot. So I mean, those summers that I had leading up to now was me, C. Hans, and Key was a lot of work, man. Just shooting. Some days we're going there and just shoot 2,000 shots. So definitely, man, it was tough.
This for Mike over here. The fact the Nuggets are a smart team and run their offense very well, run everything very well. How does that appeal to you in the chess match of it? That's first. And second, how have you seen the guy next to you grow the most over the last year or so?
Yeah, we got our work cut out. They're a team that they run their offense, almost perfectly every time. There's nobody too sped up, nobody rushed. They cut, they play off each other, and it's a tough team to defend. And it's going to be a chess match. They're going to change things by quarter, by play, and we have to be able to adjust to them as much as they adjust to us. And so it's going to be a long road on this one, but we just got to keep grinding and figuring that out. But as far as Ant, just really proud of the way he's accepted the kind of growth that he needed to have to be where he's at right now. Because a lot of that has to do with him understanding the game better, understanding how to play off his teammates when things, when they're doubling him and making it tougher on him. He's able to make our life easier. Trusting us, and it's not easy for 22, 23-year-old to make that adjustment so quickly. So
22.
So he's learning. So keep it up, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Fast learner. Yeah.
We saw some emotion from you out on the floor. We've heard about like the message that you sent to this team, and know that you're a competitor. How do you effectively channel competitiveness individually for yourself in this series, if that makes sense?
Man, every game, honestly, and people say you play the game like it's your last game. It feels like it's becoming that for me, even more so as I've gotten older. I tell these guys all the time, man, I ain't got a long time, man. I'm just out here every day, trying to give everything I got. And I want them to see that. I want to dive on the floor. I want to guard post up. So I want to show them I can still move. And I want them to follow that. And I think that they've been accepting to that, and understanding my urgency, and I told this guy, man, just take us along, with him, because he's the way his energy and what he brings for us. It's easy for me to want to get up every day and try to, match that, so we work well together right now, and we just got to keep it going.
And back here for you, and with the way you guys came out against Phoenix and go up 2-0, and you faced a desperate team in back-to-back games, knowing that Denver doesn't want to go down 0-2 going back to Minnesota, what do you draw from games 3 and 4 maybe that showed you were able to kind of weather a team's big punch, really, in order to not go down in such a big hole and able to answer the call on those questions? What do you draw from those games going into game 2?
Those games was tough to me. Last series, 3 and 4, they came out and played hard. But it's a lot different, man. Denver they won't beat themselves. They won't turn the ball over. They're gonna make open shots, so it's gonna be tough. I can't really draw nothing from that series to this one because Denver is the defending champ, so it's gonna be tough. We just got to come out and play. We got to play better, man. We made a whole bunch of game plan mistakes. That's if we keep making those, we're gonna beat ourselves because that's a great team over there, and they're well coached. So we just got to come out and cut that down and make the right plays offensively, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, crazy. I love
awesome.
that. Charlie mentioned this, that Conley was the perfect point guard for Ant's growth.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that like? Mimicry is a form of flattery, or like something like that. You are kind of who you surround yourself with.
Mhm.
I don't know what the idiom or the phrase is,
Yeah.
but like, oh man, I could potentially emotional here. Like, Ant is surrounding himself with fucking like perfection, like around him. Like
Yep.
he's everything around him. And now everyone's going to be like, we want you to fail. Like it's almost going to be like that. And he's going to have his team like fenced in. And it's like, this is my bubble. This is who I am. And these are people who I ride with. Okay. Year one, he has, Cat and this crazy year, COVID. Year two, we get like a D-Lo, right? We had D-Lo, but like we had D-Lo. And then, we have Patrick Beverly, right? And in year three, right, we lose Patrick Beverly, but it's a crazy season where we have like Austin Rivers, and we have like Cat out for 50 games, right? But we get like a culture started with Conley towards the end of that, and with Gobert, right? From like that, we're like graduating, like in terms of like I talked about like school earlier. Like you learn from who you're around, and then you kind of excel and or accept and or take on like what's been given to you. And it was crazy. And like look at Patrick Beverly in the news. Look at D'Lo kind of looking for another job now. Like what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Conley, who was just like an absolute professional, riding on the coattails of Ant, being like, this is the only way I can win now. And Ant is locked in. Gobert is like, this is the only way I can win in this league.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take you under my wing and like share all the defensive strategies I can do for you, because Beverly was just hot air, man. Like I love Beverly for what he was on our team for that year. It was so emotionally like,
he instilled
riding.
a different like mentality into us for sure, regardless of the bad stuff that he is, and like it happened the other day, and happened when he was with us. But he did in ways help us.
I mean, there's a reason why we got rid of Beverly. Like,
like
maybe there was some habits that were forming that were just like incorrect. Maybe there was like some like not collusion, but just like friction with the ref or frictions with the coaching staff. You have to buy in. You have to learn and lean into what the coaching staff wants and adapt your your game, your intuition to that. And Conley like says, here's a game plan on a platter.
Yeah.
We have been given everything to win. It's now on you. And it's like, I cannot believe that we are so lucky and fortunate, and like you should be fucking like pumping your chest proud that we have this team for this season. Like, and Ant is like just soaking it in, and he's 22. He just corrected everyone saying he's 22. What is he going to look like when he's 25? We can talk about that later. Like,
I know,
it's going to be
dude.
insane. What is it going to look like in his prime? He's taking over year 4.
This is, I mean, this is insane. This is amazing. Yeah, I can't help but watch that as well.
Let's watch it. I don't know.
Oh, we're gonna get banned.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
I don't want to have that happen again. But everybody else can watch that. You can watch that. There's highlights up on YouTube.
Yeah, it's true.
Not my highlights. I will say another quick little shout out to ourselves, or self promo or whatever. Ant Funny Moments Part 2 is done.
Whoa.
And we'll be going up. I think I'm going to put it up on Monday because we have no games Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Or wait, what is it? We don't have games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Is that true? Wait.
Yeah, we're Minnesota on Friday, right?
Is it Friday? Yeah. That's crazy.
That's
so we have
crazy.
that many days off.
What?
Oh,
But then
okay. So we don't. Never mind. I was thinking today was Friday. I'm broken. Okay, so today's Saturday, and
Monday.
we play on Monday. So
Yeah.
we play Monday, but then we have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday up. So we'll have some. I just wanted to put some Wolves content out during those not so great
like
days.
Tuesday, maybe Wednesday.
Yes, Wolves or Timber, or what am I trying to say? Ant Funny Moments Part 2, which Part 1 just went over 100,000 views. You guys are crazy.
You guys are crazy.
But we'll be coming out. So mark your calendars.
Thanks for doing that, Cameron.
Join the Discord. Also, another self promo. I know we're kind of getting to the end here, but the TikTok is almost at 1,000. I'd love to get 1,000 so that we could try to stream on there and just see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe nothing happens, but I'd love to try it and see if we get some new friends. So if you haven't already, follow the TikTok, make an account. Follow the TikTok, make another account. No, I'm just kidding. Maybe. But yes, if we could get to 1,000 there, we could stream there and get some irrational people in there. So yeah. Well, Timberwolves play Monday night. It looks like it's another late game. Looks like it's a 9 p.m. Central game. So that's unfortunate.
Wow, that's crazy.
But that is a big game. Obviously, now we have a chance to really make some noise. Tonight was big time. Now people are going to watch all this content over the weekend and be like, "Wow, this is even better." And then Monday, if we can come in Monday and take that game, oh my gosh!
Yeah, I don't know.
Woo! Wad Squad memberships available, nation. They are nationwide available. That is true. Cool. Well, I don't know how much else I have. I want to go watch the game too. Everybody, before you leave, if you could like the stream, it's free. I'd appreciate it. It helps us out a ton, gets us more people to see the videos. Doesn't really do anything. We don't monetize the videos because I don't want to. I've decided I don't want you guys to have ads during the live streams, so I don't want to just do it. Also, it only makes us like pennies, so I'm not doing that anymore. Besides, we have enough support from our members already, that people that have joined and been a member, and people that are gifting memberships, which, by the way, it's that time. Shout out, Eric. Appreciate your 5 gifted early on. Crone, your 5 gifted again. It's you guys, you don't have to do this all the time, seriously, but we appreciate you. Going into giveaways. It's going into giveaways. So amazing. Speak it into existence. 11 more wins. 11 more wins, and the Timberwolves are champions.
What?
That's a weird sentence to say. Now, I'm not trying to get too far ahead because I am very focused on this series. I mean, honestly, I'm really not thinking ahead that much. I know I was talking about it a little bit earlier, but like I really am focused on this Denver series because Denver really can. If there was a team built to be able to lose the first game and then to win the next 4, it's probably Denver. So I am taking them very seriously. But I have a ton of confidence in the Timberwolves now, and it's not like you were saying earlier. I don't think we have to guess on the Wolves game so much anymore. We kind of just know, this is a good team, and that doesn't mean that they're never going to lose a game. There was a part of me that sort of wanted them to lose tonight so that we could see how the Timberwolves responded to a loss in the playoffs, because we haven't lost in the playoffs yet this year. So, and like, what do we do when we lose? Now, maybe that's Monday. Maybe Denver comes back really motivated on Monday. But we're going to be in a little bit better shape and more adjusted to the oxygen levels in Denver by Monday. So we're not going to be as out of shape. I don't know, just kind of interesting. But 11, what number is Nasrid? Yes, a little Jeopardy. Seriously,
it's a must-win for Game 2 for Denver, man. It's a must-win.
It is. If they lose, I think honestly, if they lose Game 2, it might be over. It might be over. There's 5 games after that. Worst case scenario, and the Timberwolves are not losing 4 out of 5 games. It's just not happening. The defense is too good to lose 4 out of 5 games, especially when they're this engaged and this locked in. I don't know. There's just no way. There's no way. So winning Game 2, and I don't know. I just have this. I keep having this gut feeling that the guys, I can like understand. I can understand their mindset and the ants like kill everything in front of me mentality. And I think that he and the team are very much like, hey guys, we win this game too, it might be wraps. Like it might be over. So Game 2 could be exciting, but Denver is a good team. They are better than Phoenix, so we will see. Monday will be fun. We should be back, I believe. I'm free. At least I don't remember if you were. I can't remember.
Free.
Okay. I am free on Monday, so we will be live after the game. Same thing. Make sure you're subscribed. Like the stream before you go. We're at 69 likes, though. That's kind of nice. So maybe don't like the stream. No, you should. Cool. Well, I think that's it for us. Man, I wish I was actually going to the game at Target Center, but I'm saving that for later. I'm hoping that we go further into the playoffs and I can fly home for that because I just flew home. I can't be flying back and forth between Minneapolis all the time. Cool. All right.
Yes, FTP. It's time to howl.
Yes, it is time to howl. All right, everybody. 11 more wins is possible. Finals are still possible. We are up 1-0. We will be back here Monday night. Thank you, Ashwin. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Cameron.
And intro as the outro. That's what I say. Intro as the outro.
Yeah.
We will. I take back my thank you, Ashwin. No, intro as the outro. We will see you Monday night.